You know the names, the Big Four. For years, they've been the undisputed giants of the professional world. But there is a force, artificial intelligence, that's starting to shake their very foundations. And this isn't just their story. This is about your next career move and how you can get way ahead of what's coming. I mean, for as long as any of us can remember, right? Firms like Deloitte, PwC, EY, and KPMG have just been unshakable. The definition of corporate stability. And that dominance was no accident. It was built on a really simple but incredibly powerful engine: billing for human hours.
But here's the thing. The change that's happening right now isn't just another market downturn. It's structural. It's fundamental. So the real question isn't whether AI is a cool new tool they can use. It's whether AI completely collapses the operating model that made them giants in the first place.
And that brings us right to the heart of this explainer. Let's forget the corporate strategy for a second. What does this massive, industry-wide earthquake mean for you? For your skills, for your job prospects, for your future in this world? Let's break it all down.
So how exactly is this happening? Well, that foundation of power, that mountain of billable hours generated by thousands and thousands of professionals, that is the very thing AI is perfectly designed to take apart. The granite is absolutely starting to crack. And I really need to hammer this point home. This is not a temporary dip that's just going to bounce back. This is a permanent structural reinvention. The core business model, literally how work gets done and how these firms make money, is changing forever. And AI isn't just landing everywhere at once. Nope. It's like a targeted missile strike, aimed right at the most structured, data-heavy parts of the business. We're talking about audit, tax, due diligence, anywhere that involves sifting through a mind-numbing amount of data to find a pattern or a mistake. That is ground zero for this whole transformation.
To really wrap your head around the scale of this, we need to pop the hood and look at the engine that's powered these firms for decades, the pyramid talent model. And more importantly, we need to see exactly why that engine is starting to break down.
So this is it, the engine room, the pyramid model. For decades, it was a beautiful, profitable machine. You hire a massive class of recent grads, you put them at the bottom to do all the repetitive grunt work, and you bill for every single hour. It worked like a charm. Until now.
Because here's the fatal flaw. AI is exceptionally, almost terrifyingly, good at that repetitive, time-consuming work. KPMG is already using AI to scan millions of accounting entries. EY has an AI assistant helping 80,000 of its tax professionals. So when machines start doing the work that humans used to bill for, those hours, they just vanish. The fuel for the pyramid just dries up. So if the pyramid is breaking, what comes next? What replaces it? Well, the industry is already shifting to a brand new shape for talent, one that's actually designed for the age of AI. The model is literally flipping from a pyramid to a diamond. That wide base of junior roles doing repetitive tasks, it gets much, much thinner as AI takes over. But the middle, that part swells up, becoming wide and packed with experts who manage the AI, interpret its findings, and apply human judgment. The value is no longer in how many hours you work, but in how well you apply your judgment. And if you think this is all just some nice theory for the future, look at this number, a 44% drop in graduate hiring in a single year. This isn't a prediction. The pyramid is being dismantled right now. The firms are already hiring for a completely different kind of workforce.
Okay, this is where things get really actionable for you. If the old roles are shrinking, what are the new ones? Where should you be focusing your skills and your energy? Well, from what we're seeing, it all points to 3 critical emerging roles you absolutely need to know about.
First up, the controls engineer. Think of this person as the AI's safety inspector. As companies start betting the farm on AI for things like audits, somebody has to prove to partners, to clients, to regulators that the system is safe, fair, and reliable. This role is all about building trust in the machine. The skills you need here are less about traditional accounting and way more about systems thinking. You need a deep instinct for where data comes from and how it's been handled. You need to be able to turn a boring policy document into automated code. It's really the new frontier of quality assurance.
Next, we have the domain translator. And honestly, this might be the most important role of them all. This person is the human bridge between the business world and the tech world. They take a CFO's vague question, they frame it as a problem AI can actually solve, and then, and this is the magic part, they explain the results in a way the CFO actually understands and cares about.
And look at the skills here. It's not about being a coding wizard. It's about structured thinking and crystal clear communication. Can you break a problem down on a whiteboard? Can you write a summary that gets right to the point? Can you figure out the 1 or 2 numbers that a board will actually pay attention to? If you can do that, you are incredibly valuable.
And third, the exception handler. You see, AI is great at spotting things that look weird, but it's often terrible at understanding why they're weird or what to do about it. That's where this role comes in. When the system raises a red flag, you are the detective who investigates, makes a judgment call, and documents the whole story.
This role takes a unique blend of skills. You need the ability to stay curious when everything is on fire. You need to follow the facts without getting emotional, and you have to be a master of triage, quickly sorting out the real problems from the false alarms. This is where human judgment remains absolutely essential.
Okay, so you know the roles now. The next logical question is, how do you get these skills? How do you actually prepare yourself for this new diamond model? Well, the good news is there's a blueprint for this. Here's an actionable 90-day plan. You can think of this as a template, whether your company provides it or you have to build it for yourself. You start with an intense 2-week boot camp on the new tools and policies. Then you spend 60 days shadowing a real AI project to get that crucial hands-on experience. And finally, you get a certification that formalizes your new skills and ties directly to your next promotion.
And let's be very, very clear about the stakes here. For both the firms themselves and for every single individual working in them, this isn't some casual evolution. The message is simple, and it's stark. It all boils down to this one question. Will the old model simply collapse under the weight of this technological shift, or can these firms and the people inside them reinvent themselves fast enough to lead this next era? Because look, a literal total collapse is unlikely. These firms are too woven into the global economy. But the collapse of the old way of working, that's not just likely. It's already happening. What's going to emerge is something leaner, more technologically integrated, and built around a completely different set of skills and values. So the ultimate takeaway here is personal. The entire industry is being remade as we speak. New roles are being born as the old ones fade away. So the only question left is the one on your screen. The clock is ticking. Are you ready?